So I don't know if you saw this TikTok, but there was a cheerleading squad. I should get the name, but I'm being lazy. And they did a dance to. It sounded like a New Orleans bounce, like beat. I've never heard of the song, but where she's like saying "touch on all my body," Adi, and they were doing the cheer dance on the track at a football game.
I've probably seen it.
You probably seen it. So basically, for those of you, for additional context, there was a dance cheerleading squad, and they were doing a dance to a song which I guess is popular on TikTok, and they did a choreography which was fire. It was good. It was great, and it was all black except for one girl that was white, and the conversation came up, and I wish I had the person's name of that sparked me to bring this up. Um, but basically, he was saying, why is it that whenever there's any form of black excellence or anything that happens and a white person just tends to or a white person consumes it or does the same thing, whether it's like cooking something or a certain slang or a dance, if they're able to do it the same way that we do it, that we immediately ignore the black excellence that's already presently there and we don't support them in the same way, because all
Yeah.
of the comments in the video where, oh my god, Tiffany killed it, and we got to have Stephanie invited to the
Yeah,
cookout,
it's
and
always like, and it's the same thing. Sorry to interrupt you, but same thing like when that guy or that girl went viral for rapping that song, the Lil
with
Baby
Drake,
song.
yeah,
Yeah,
Lil Baby and Drake,
and it's like black people do this every day. Like we rap music all the time, lip sync songs. But when she did it, like they gave her like mad followers,
yeah,
or like the stupid period period girl. It's like, but yeah, keep going.
yeah. So he was just saying why, because in that video she's just one of like maybe it was like 20 of them. Everybody else was black. So
Yeah,
and the choreographer was black. I
yeah.
don't think she was actually in the video, but she did a video after that, like showing the choreography of her like doing it herself. But it just is always been weird to me about the whole like cookout thing. Like I've said this because that's been a joke on Twitter forever, and I never really understood why
It's,
we be hating ourselves so
even
much.
that remember that white kappa that went viral when we was in high school.
Yeah, like
Like
Kappas do the same shit.
it's so weird.
It is very weird.
I wonder who's
It's the White Lives Matter
perpetuating
thing.
it. Yeah, literally. Like you guys are literally proving Kanye's point. Like white lives matter to you. Clearly, could you gas them up every day? You invite them to the cookout. You support their racist brands. What did we say earlier too that they do? We were in the car. I said it. You said something that black people do to support white people, and I was like, white lives matter. What did you
Um,
say?
I forgot.
Ah, dang it. Yeah, you said something. I was like, yeah, white lives must matter then. Clearly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so weird. Like, but I wonder who perpetuates it. I mean, the whole cookout thing comes from Black American culture, but I do wonder what perpetuates it because I always bring this up, but I feel like it's like I'm just learning more. But like, unfortunately, a lot of like immigrant groups get diluted into our groups. Like we talked about it on the pod before. Like a lot of this is stereotype, but like this like, stereotypes that black men hate black women. And remember we talked about it, we're like, and vice versa. We're like, nah, like black American men and women usually, rally behind each other, like from the beginning of time. Like, cause oh yeah, we were talking about like how a lot of you ever noticed interracial couples is always African women and white men. And then I just feel like a lot of times since they move here, they get like, it's the same thing when like somebody does a crime automatically as a black person did it, but they never separated by like ethnic groups. So sometimes people who do things might be foreigners, but then it gets grouped into is everybody black. So I feel like with this thing, I wonder if it's our people that perpetuate it, and I still probably it is because the whole cookout thing is our culture. But then again, a lot of immigrant groups, especially from like Africa and the Caribbean, do have like a white savior complex, in my opinion. Like I feel like they didn't start hating white people until like we were like the face of that. Yeah, they literally be having like white Jesuses and stuff that they like cry to like in their lands. Like I just feel like they really have this like white savior complex, and like they didn't come here and they pander to them heavy. Like you see it a lot. It's unfortunate. Like, I've seen it in my own personal experience. Like people who were like who I went to school with who have African parents who kind of like looked at me differently, but like was so like pandering to like the white students in my school and like their parents, thinking like that their parents were such like put them on a pedestal almost like oh like, we love you, but then like looking at like my family like oh them black Americans like them hood rats, you know. So I do feel like they have like a white savior complex, and I wonder if that's part of, if that gets mixed in. And I do think it's us too. I'm not trying to just call them out. I do think it's us too. And I don't know if it's linked back to slavery and just putting them on a pedestal, like looking up to them like they're like master. Because it's something. It's something. Because it is very strange.
It's very strange.
Like, I can't even.
And what makes it even stranger is that if an Asian person were to do the same thing, they would look at them crazy.
Yeah.
Like when they dress like us over in Japan or any of these other countries, black people hate it.
Yeah. They usually be in the comments like, oh, appropriation.
Yeah.
And it's weird because they say appropriation for white people too, but it's like, look at who, like, the main people supporting that period, our girl, it was all black girls like, oh, she killed that. I'm like, no, she didn't. Like, it's just.
It's weird.
It's so weird. And they gave her a clout. Like, now she's having meet and greets. Like, it's just like, you give them this weird looking, like, look, what do they call people? Like, what do they call them, bastard kids? Like, when they're mixed with, like, when they're like cousin type kids. Isn't that what they're called?
Relax.
That's not what they're called. Babe, look at her. You can't tell me she don't look like.
I know, but we don't come on this podcast and insult people.
You can't tell
We're
me.
having intellectual conversations.
You can't.
I know what she looks like. You don't have to pull it up.
Okay, Mama, so you can't tell me she don't look like she's related to, like, she's from England, like she's related to George Washington, and she has cousins mixed in the family. It's just crazy. 2 million followers, and it probably mostly came from that, right?
Yeah. What did
Like,
it say?
look, this got 21 million views.
The one on the right said 56 million?
Yeah.
300,000 comments.
You're like, period.
Don't ever say that again.
I never say period. I hate that word, actually. Even though it's Av, I just never say it. Like, I'll say point blank period. Like, but I don't say period. Like, what the? How I look stealing Florida slang, and I'm not from Florida. Period. This is so whack. I don't know. I just don't like people.
You also from the suburbs.
I am from the suburbs.
Of New Jersey.
But I had nothing to do with being from the suburbs because, like, people weren't talking like that. People are emulating the city girls. Like, people say period. Like, I've said period plenty of times. Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm not going there, period. Like, I'm not going there. But now every time I say period in my head, I just can't even say it normally because in my head I hear period, you know? Nobody was saying period in Franklin.
I said it.
Were they? No, but you.
I didn't say it.
No, but I'm asking you.
I'm from the suburbs too.
Yeah, but you're still from, like, you have a lot of urban people in your suburbs. Like, you're still Central Jersey, like,
Well,
home
not-
of, like, the Jersey Club. Well, not home of Jersey Club, but a huge factor of Jersey Club came out of your area. Like, so you grew up at least with a lot of black people. I didn't, but I grew up with parents from Brooklyn, so the swag was in the household. And I still never said, period.
People still said it, but not in that southern
That's
cadence.
my point. That's my point. But everybody's saying it in the city girls cadence, and they never even stuck foot in where the city girls are from. Like, I hate that. It's like, it's literally appropriation. And black people could appropriate each other. We could. It's whack to me. But you see the comments. You see the views. Like, that's sickening to me. Like, seeing that she could just come up here, and she probably had ancestors that owned slaves, and now she's profiting off of appropriation of our culture. That shit irks my soul, and it's our people that made her famous. A good portion.
A bunch of weirdos, but do not.
What do you think
do
is the
not,
root of it?
Do not extend the conversation. It's just one sentence
No,
I'm going to say.
Yeah, I was asking you, what do you think?
That was partially Kanye's point. Was all I was going to say. Don't say anything else.
It was.
Okay.
Ooh, it was. I need to get that off on Twitter.
You said why what?
Why do you think that's the thing? Because I think it's rooted, like I said, I think it's the white savior complex that comes from a lot of foreigners and also us. And I think it's that slavery thing where we looked at them, we looked to them as like, they were the masters of our fate. They had the key to the freedom. But how does that keep getting passed down? Like, how do you still love a people that did your people so dirty?
I think it's because we hate ourselves.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, which sounds crazy because we obviously we love our music, we love the style, fashion,
the language,
like everything. We love everything about it.
And I would never trade being black ever
until it's compared to something that they do right now. For example, in being black and consuming another black person's content, like their music or fashion, their design, whatever it is, doesn't make them impervious to criticism. Like, I don't think that just because we're black we all have to support each other. I don't agree with that, because that to me sounds crazy. Like, but people hate Telfar, and while I'm not particularly fond of it, there's so much of a quickness to kill brands like Off-White and Telfar and anything black.
Yeah.
Like,
and I've seen a lot of tweets about that. Like,
gallery
because
department.
me personally, I don't like Telfar. I don't have a Telfar bag. But when have you ever seen me publicly disparage the company? I just stay quiet. I don't buy the stuff. And I stay quiet. I don't like the bags. Like, in my opinion, they look kind of flimsy, and the logos doesn't do it for me. Like, I don't really care for it. But have you ever seen me publicly go on a rant about it? No. But you see people who like, them flimsy ass, I hate them bags. You got a basic, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just stay quiet. I'm not going to publicly disparage a black company.
Or really any company.
Or any company.
Really.
Like, if you don't like it, just don't say nothing. Like,
yeah, but we're so quick to, we can never have somebody that, because, you know, if Michael Kors made that same bag, it wouldn't be the same energy, or Coach or whatever.
Marc Jacobs.
Yeah, they made a bag called the tote bag on it.
And everybody walking around with that bag.
But then they got mad at Virgil for putting quotes.
Yeah, like all he did was pick quotes.
It's like,
okay. All they did was write tote bag on the tote bag. And they got that, and they probably got that from Virgil. They're writing the object on the stuff.
Yeah, because that's what he used to do. Table, rug. Yeah. Like, he used to do the same thing.
It's so nasty.
It's
definitely self-hate. And it's like crabs in a barrel mentality, like, or whatever, crabs in a bucket thing. Like, it's the same way everybody's so hyped about Kanye losing all his deals. Like, it's like, you know, I had to bring it there. But we'll transition to that later. But it's just, it's definitely some weird self-hatred stuff. It's definitely linked to that. And it's like people will swear. It's almost like, you know, and I find myself being guilty of this too. Like, when you argue with a black woman about wearing wigs, and it's like, no, I love myself. And it's like, but do you really? Like, are you putting on someone else's hair? And I had to ask myself that too. I'm like, I mean, I really do love myself, but it's like, do you love your hair?
Yeah,
though?
I always said that.
I love my hair, but it's like, I'll admit, this is just easier.
Bro, you can argue with a woman to the ends of the earth about the makeup and wig thing. But yo, there's something there. It is, and it doesn't mean that you don't love yourself, but you don't.
But you don't love everything.
You don't love all of yourself.
And no, but I really do love my hair, but it's just too hard for me to deal with. Like, and that's sad, because if you loved it wholeheartedly, you would deal with it. Did. So obviously, there's something there, and it's just unfortunate that I haven't really got to unpack that yet. But
and dealing with it doesn't even mean you need to do anything to it, really.
It doesn't, because that's the thing. We as a society think we have to do something with it. You could just leave it out in a fro.
But we so programmed to straighten hair and all that kind of shit.
That's so sad. White people really messed us up.
And yo,
but the first step is admitting, and nobody will admit that.
And yo, you can't even have that conversation with the women. We don't do it for you. That's the first thing.
They snap at you. So like why are you so defensive?
Like, it's okay. Like, if that is the case, it's okay. Like, just accept it. And
but you do have the question: why are you literally sitting there taking hours and hours and hours to glue hair lace onto your skin, and then to pluck it and tweeze it, and I do it. So I'm talking about myself. It's like, you doing all that, and like, and in my mind it looks good, but why does it look good? Like, why? You know, you gotta ask yourself why.
Yeah.
Why do you think that looks better than a fro? I can't tell you, because it's so programmed in us. But at least I can admit that. Like, people won't admit that, like you said, and it's like this black woman angry, bitter craziness that they like to do, like snapping.
I've always said it looks dumb as fuck to me, because it doesn't even look like you don't even look like a black woman. Like, because it doesn't even, it looks.
I mean, this is more textured.
No, honestly, realistically, when I see a black woman.
Black women have hair texture like this. Like, this is more like textured. This is like curly. I've seen black women with hair texture like similar to this. Like a yaki.
Yeah, but that looks fake.
But it's not fake though.
No, I know, but it just doesn't look real to me.
Yeah. Compared to when I had my hair like curly.
Yeah, because you could tell, like, it just, I don't know. But that's okay. That's not what this conversation was about. But it is just a lot of, like, weird.
White praising.
Yeah, like, you can praise us too. Like, black woman came up with it. Like, why the choreographer didn't get the same praise? Like, oh, she smoked that choreography.
Or even that whole, like, saying where it was like, oh, we rocking with Mark, because Mark's rocking with us. Yeah. Like, why do you care if Mark is rocking with us? Like, it's just weird.
Yeah, like it matters. And that's not to be, like, anti them.
Yeah, like
It's just like
white people are cool. Like I have no issues with them. I do feel like a lot of them are very tone deaf to their privilege and everything. But I personally don't have an issue with them on a daily basis. I don't walk around mad at them and hating them. But I'm also not sitting there and treating them like gods. Like
for doing the same thing that 20 other people just did,
Yeah.
or the creator of something just did.
and when the wealth gap is so wide already, why are we making more of them famous and then crying about it? It's like that's why TikTok earlier they say black people are good. We're just in this cyclical thing. It's like because it's like the Black Lives Matter thing, Trayvon Martin, and then like George Floyd, and it's like then it's just gonna go quiet again. And somebody said like this is the same thing that happened in the past, and they got lots of them in the past, but it's like it's just these cycles. You make some steps, and then it's like it's no steps, and then it's just done. Like, we just don't do nothing different. We're not trying to change as a people. It's really sad, actually. That's why I'm at a point where I'm just living for me. I want my reparations. I'm gonna be looking to see how Tariq's reparations rally go on the 5th. I'm hoping that they're doing a lot of work because I just personally don't have the energy to do the work or the time because I'm not going down to DC on Dad's marathons the next day. But you know, I hope that we get that type of reparations for our Black Americans, but that's all. That's as far as I could go. I'm looking at just our ethnic group, and that's it. And I'm hoping that we can make some progress. But I'm kind of exhausted. Like I'm just kind of over it. I'm kind of just living for me. Like I just figure out people are just so lost and just a lot of them are dumb and just never gonna change. Like even when I see videos of like moms talking to their kids the way like we gotta talk to them, like I'm seeing this in real time that nobody's changing. Like, where's the change? Like why are you guys still talking to your kids the way that you? But a lot of people don't realize the way they were talked to was bad. But it's like now you see kids I'm saying kids, but people our age, filming like their kids on TikTok. Like this mom was yelling at her kid, like, "Give me your phone. Why did you fight that kid at the playground today?" It's like, why are you recording this for TikTok? Like, it's like they want to sound like you see the jokes of like, oh, we're becoming our parents. And like, it's like people want to feel cool, like they're talking the way their parents are talking, right? Like they want to feel like that power now. Like, oh, now we the adults now. So now just because your mom yelled at you, it's like, go to your room, give me that thing. Now you want to just keep that cycle going because you feel powerful now. And now you like, oh, we want the adults. We wanted the adults now. Like.
Weirdo shit.
So you keep perpetuating Black trauma. That's what you're doing, right? Talking to your kids like they're objects and not people. And then recording it now on TikTok. So now you're adding another layer of trauma these kids are going to have to unpack now when they're adults. Like, not only are they being treated the same way we were, but now you're embarrassing them on the internet.
I better not see
I'm done with our people.
Yeah, let me see my kid on a TikTok. Y'all better put your TikToks
exactly.
and your IGs on private, because if I see my kid on a TikTok, I'm going to go flip that whole...
Like, who put my kid? Because people are just recording everybody nowadays.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
I would never do that. Like, if I'm gonna do funny videos,
bro, I'm not. Me putting a phone. Certain shit that people do, I can never imagine myself doing. Imagine me putting my phone in somebody else's kid's face.
Yeah.
For what? For some likes and comments. So,
yeah.
Oh, you seem like such a cool teacher. What? To get your jollies off? Like, go get a fucking personality.
Even the teachers that do that, who record their students, like you're weird. You're really weird. Why are you putting other people's kids online on TikTok? Like. This is so weird.
Go get a personality. Like, it's over, bro. Like, you're a teacher.
And these kids are not even consenting. That's the crazy part. You're not even getting their consent to put them online.
Just be a teacher.
Because you feel like because you had them or because you're their teacher, they're your property.
Stop trying to get clout. Like, you're going to just be a teacher. It's over. No disrespect, but that wasn't supposed to be disrespectful.
Because like, that's why they're doing it.
You're trying to become the next internet sensation. It's like you're just going to be a teacher, which is important.
Yeah.
But just be that. Then.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a social media star. Mm-hmm. Like, your job is important enough. Don't try to get clout, because it's like the same thing about everybody makes a account for their kid, everybody makes an account for their dog, everybody makes an account for everything. Like, it's over. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Some people got lucky. It's not gonna be you.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
That sounds like some hating shit, but
no, but it's true, because like me personally, like I'm not doing none of that. Like,
cause tell me
my kid's not getting an Instagram until our kids not getting Instagram until they're at the age where they ask, and if I feel like they're old enough, then I would say yes.
And if you say no, they're still gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, and I wouldn't care, honestly, because we're not that far removed from when we were that age, and I can understand just living your life and learning. You can't stop them. Don't have kids if you want to have control over people. You can't stop them from doing what they want to do. You're not your property just because you gave birth to them and feed them. Like, they're still a human being. Don't have them. I saw a really good TikTok about that, actually, about how like this couple that like just got married and like everybody keeps asking when they're having kids. And she's like, as of now, me and my husband don't want them. And she was like, the reason why is because, like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to raise somebody for 18 years and they might hate me and turn their back on me. Like, I'm not ready for that. But people don't be ready for that, and then they go crazy. If you're not ready for that possibility that you might raise this kid for 18 years and then they might be like, F you, then don't have the kids. It's not a requirement for life.
No.
But yeah, I don't even know how we got into that.
Yeah. That's all I had on the black topic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about, our people. Yeah. I'm exhausted, honestly. Like, there's nothing I can, you can't, there's no, I don't know what it's gonna take for our people to change. We're so programmed deep into our BS. And
I got one last comment, and then I'd prefer to move on. But my last comment is that I think every instance of something new coming along sets us back. And here's what I mean. So it's really specifically technologically related.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had our mentalities of, like, we've always had that mentality about certain stuff. Oh, if you got the polo on, that means this. Or you got to go grab the polo and the Tommy Hilfiger, like all this, chasing all that kind of shit. But now with, Facebook pops up and it's like, oh, I got to be flexing on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And then Instagram pops up. Oh, I'm flexing on Instagram. Twitter pops up. Oh, I got to sound like I'm this on Twitter. And then TikTok pops up and I got to sound like I'm this. It's always something that's going to set you back. Yeah. And people are just going to keep spending their money, getting misinformed on the internet, taking and adapting their personality from their favorite rapper or favorite social media personality, and just continuing to set people overall all the way back. And you see the influence of, now, I don't have anything against Yeat personally.
Who?
Yeat.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy his music, but you see the influence that someone like that has on the kids. Like, you see kids buying the balaclavas,
yeah,
and like trying to be that whole, like, take their pictures a certain way. Like, you see it.
Misunderstood.
Yeah, and
the Cardi thing. Yeah.
And people adapt that into their personality, and they try to find videos of how the person talks and like what they do, and then they try to become that, and that just sets everybody backwards. Not that there's anything wrong with Yeat, but the difference is that Yeat is probably, because I would assume, I don't have access to his bank account, I would assume he's a multimillionaire at this point, and it's different, a multimillionaire doing something versus you doing something.
Yeah.
When you're not that.
Yeah.
And you're working probably an hourly job if you have one.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between those things, but people will adapt that personality, or like personalities like Future. Like, people try to get that whole she for the streets, I'm this, I'm that kind of thing. People want to emulate that, or the Drake personality.
Yeah, like try to be the pretty boy with the shaved brows and like the
whatever.
Trying to look like him, talk like him, dress like him. We've seen it.
Yeah, or like 20, like just whatever rapper it is that, or whatever celebrity or prominent person, people try to take that personality, and they're
it's
millionaires,
so weird to me.
And they're successful off of it, but you're not gonna be successful off of it.
You're successful of being yourself.
Yeah, but
that's the thing. I dress certain ways because I like see certain. I'm like, okay, this is like cute, but it's still me. I still put my own twist on things, and I'm still me. I don't change my personality. I'm still annoying and weird. I'm gonna be that annoying weird person that just dresses nice. Like, that's gonna be me. I'm not gonna try to act like somebody else. Like, I just saw TikTok today too, where it was like, people said, you realize not everybody can be an it girl. Like, this whole it girl thing. So it's like how we were talking about the other day, like that conversation we had about people thinking they're 8s and 9s and 10s. It's like, you can't all be it girls. And this one girl said, who are the it girls that we know of? You have people like, they said like Marilyn Monroe, she bleached her hair, like, yeah, people like Rihanna who did that tattoo on her chest that you have all the other girls copying, but Rihanna did that first. Like, that makes you it girl, doing stuff on your own or doing it on your own time. Like, Rihanna had a pixie haircut in her 20s. Like, not a lot of girls are doing that. And she put that big, whatever that tattoo is on her chest, because that's what she liked. That makes you an it girl. But you copying Rihanna getting that tattoo doesn't. Like,
correct.
Everybody looks exactly the same on the internet. Same lashes, same hairstyle, same personality, same fits from Shein. It's like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing the same stuff. I'm tired of it. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.